Good evening, baseball fans. How are you doing tonight? Welcome to episode 19 of MLB Hot Takes. Let's get to it. And good evening, baseball fans. Hello. Lots of familiar faces in the chat. What is going on, everyone? Samzy G, Big Wheeze, King Yellowman. What's going on? It's Cat. Kaylee Scott, hello. Carson Banbrook, one of our moderators, is here. Ed Bagley, one of our members, is here as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. Who else we got here in the chat? Sean Desai, hello. John Sullivan, welcome, my friend. Brendan DH, another one of our members. Hello, my friend. How you doing? Cole A009, what is going on? Jelly Boy, hello. Yes, baseball. It is time for some baseball. And, oh my goodness, Trevor Story. He just can't be stopped. I don't know what you got to do to put this guy away. I mean, good grief. Are you kidding me? Another home run for Trevor Story? I mean, at this rate, I mean, he's definitely got to be in consideration for player of the month. I mean, holy cow. This guy is just on fire. I can't even, it's just getting stupid now at this point. This is just one heck of a hot streak. Walker, what's going on? Cody Fletcher, hello. Everyone, how you doing? Hope everyone's having themselves a good week. I have to say, I got to take my, my Zero Sugar Canada Dry and tip it to all of you because I am officially on summer vacation, and I am the happiest boy alive. Wow. It has been a long year for me at school. If you don't know, I am a second grade teacher, and wow. It has been a heck of a year. I've never been more tired as a teacher. I can't even say enough how tiring of a year it was. There was just something different about this school year, and man, oh man. But we made it. Summer vacation. I am officially in channel mode. I can't wait to get to all of this summer. All the trades, all of the baseball, just seeing just everything. I'm just so excited for it this summer, and I'm excited that you all will be here with me this summer. But before I do get to the hot takes for tonight, let's just go over a couple of things. Don't forget we have some partnerships. We have SeatGeek. Use my code Hyde if you're thinking about going to a game this year. Use my code Hyde. You get $20 off your first purchase. Don't forget we are also partners with Prize Picks. Use my code Ginger. They will 100% deposit match whatever deposit you put down. So if you like sports betting, you like the FanDuel, you like the DraftKings, you want to try something a little different, go check out Prize Picks. It's pretty fun. Also, everyone, I did announce this past Sunday, but it is pretty much looking like it's almost good to go at this point. But I will be the new host of the Red Sox podcast on the Believe Network. Look at that picture. Are you kidding me? Look at the picture that they designed for me. That is the cover for the podcast. I cannot believe it. It's pretty surreal to be granted this opportunity to be the host of a podcast on a growing network like the Believe Network. They got a lot of good podcasts on there. They have a lot of former pro players, whether it's in basketball, football, also baseball as well, that are helping host some of these shows. There's a lot of good stuff on the Believe Network. It is a newer podcast network, around 5 years old. So if you want to check out any, of your favorite football teams, basketball teams, even baseball teams, go to the Believe Network. I will be starting this new podcast probably next week. Everything kind of is just getting put together today. My page just got put together today. As you just saw, the picture for the podcast just got put up today. So pretty exciting. I'm excited to just get into the Red Sox. I mean, nothing is going to change with this channel. It's going to be completely the same. Nothing's going to change. I'm just adding a little bit extra to my plate. And hey, you all know I'm a big Red Sox fan, and being a Red Sox fan for 25 years, I think I am up for the task to be the host of this podcast. I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity. So, but enough of me rambling. Let's just get to the hot takes, shall we? Here we go. So, hey, kind of a fun show tonight. Nothing, I would say you got a little bit of everything of hot takes tonight. I don't know. I just found these to be all just kind of fun ones to talk about. So strap yourselves in, grab yourself a cold beverage, and let's get into some hot takes. But I'm going to go over my first one. So what I'm going to be doing every week on hot takes is I'm going to give a hot take of my own. So, and it will always be a poll in the chat. If you go take a look right now, I have put up a poll. Will Matt Carpenter make the Yankees better? Well, you're probably thinking, if you haven't heard the news, what the heck am I talking about? Well, hey, Matt Carpenter has signed a major league deal with the Yankees. And it's, you're probably thinking, well, I mean, Matt Carpenter hasn't really been all that great. But this is, I would say, significant news because he signed himself a major league deal. And Matt Carpenter was a guy that has had a lot of success in his career. Sure, he's getting to, the more, I would say, towards the end of his career. But my hot take for tonight, and we'll go check out the poll as well at the end of tonight's show and kind of see what you all think. But for the Yankees, I think, for my hot take, I think Matt Carpenter could absolutely be a difference maker. So the news is the Yankees announced they signed Matt Carpenter to a big league contract. So it's not a minor league contract, big league contract. So he's going to be right on the major league roster. So the veteran infielder had been granted his release from a minor league deal with the Rangers a week ago. So it really wasn't looking like he was going to get really any playing time with the Rangers. But, hey, they gave him the opportunity. They gave him some at-bats in the minor leagues. And, hey, he ended up doing pretty decently. If we go check out his numbers in the minors, taking a look here. So this year in the minor leagues, he put up some really solid numbers, honestly. In AAA, he was hitting .275. He had a .379 on base, a .613 slugging, had 6 homers, had 19 RBIs as well. I mean, as you can see here, with the Cardinals from 2019 to 2021, wasn't really doing anything. I would say the most productive that he was in the last few years was 2019, had 15 homers, had an okay on base of .334. But, I mean, he just wasn't really doing all that much. Had a WRC plus under 100. Now, if you go back to 2018, he was very good that year. Had 36 home runs, 81 RBIs. He was hitting .257 with a .374 on base and a .523 slugging, a .140 WRC plus. The Yankees have had themselves, quite a few injuries here lately. And I think with Matt Carpenter, he's a lefty bat, and I think that could, hey, lefties just, they fit well at Fenway Park. Or not Fenway Park. My goodness, what the heck? I got to go to bed already. They fit well in Yankee Stadium. So I guess they fit well at Fenway Park, too. You got the pesky pole, whatever. But Yankee Stadium, obviously, right field is a little more in. And Matt Carpenter, left-handed bat, that could end up being a good spot for him. And, hey, he's really going to help out. You had Giancarlo Stanton go on the IL. You've had some other guys go on the IL. Taking a look here. They also optioned Estevan Florial. And taking a look here, Anthony Rizzo is, I'm just looking to see, who are the guys? So Marwin Gonzalez, or let's see. So Giancarlo Stanton, I cannot talk. Giancarlo Stanton hit the injured list last night. Were there any other guys? Actually, maybe that was it. Actually, I thought maybe another player had gone on the IL, but I guess I read that wrong. But he's basically, he'll play a little infield. He'll DH. But I think this is going to be a nice bat for the Yankees. It's going to give them another option off the bench, a left-handed option. And, hey, I'm excited for it, honestly. I think he could end up being pretty decent for them. He's a veteran guy. He's a winning player. The Yankees, they're looking just so good this year. And I think it's only going to help that you're going to add a veteran guy like this. And the guy's hungry, man. He really wants an opportunity again. He really wants to prove himself. Man, when he was talking about this, he was really fired up about it. He was saying, man, to get this, to get another opportunity like this, it's, he couldn't be more thankful for the opportunity. So I like the move. I think it's a, pretty sneaky move, and he fits well into that ballpark. Now, the question is, will he be able to put up the numbers like he was in the minor leagues? He is 36 years old. He's not getting any younger. But, again, I think a veteran guy like this, he's only going to help. He'll slide into the lineup, DH some days, maybe play some first on some days, could play some third, give some guys a day off. But I like the move. I think it's going to be a good move. And I think he ends up being a pretty decent contributor for the Yankees. I feel like the Yankees have made signings like this in the past where, kind of veteran guys where maybe it looks like they're getting more towards the end of their careers, and they end up really helping out these Yankee teams. I think Matt Carpenter can be just another one of these guys. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. What do you think about this signing? But don't forget about the poll that's in the chat. White Sox are getting on the board here. Here come a couple of runs. Was that Vaughn? Oh, man, Andrew Vaughn, man. All right, well, it's 6-2 now in Chicago. 6-3, I'm sorry. Oh, that just cleared the bases. Wow. Vaughn just cleared the bases. It is now 6-3 here in Chicago, and Waka getting roughed up a little bit here. Waka was looking pretty good, but he got himself into some trouble here in this inning, so. Oh, man. But Vaughn he's looking really good this year. So, all righty, we'll have to keep an eye out for this game. But, I like the Matt Carpenter move. I think it's a good move. So, all righty. Here we go. I see Nicholas didn't even know he still played. Yeah. So, it's, he's been in the minor leagues with the Texas Rangers. So, hey, we saw Joey Votto really reinvent himself. Could Carpenter be the same thing? There's a fly ball center field. Kike is there. There's the first out. You're not going to run on Kike. Here we go. Let's get to the first subscriber submitted hot take for the night. Since we're talking about the Yankees, why don't we just start there, shall we? We have a hot take coming in from Big Hurt 1989. Marlins should trade Pablo Lopez to the Yankees for Anthony Volpe and Jason Dominguez. All right, so right off the bat, I'm going to shoot this hot take down. Big Hurt, I appreciate it. I just don't see the Yankees doing this. Now, you're not saying will they, or you're not asking will they. You're saying they should do it. So, taking a look for both sides, obviously you would, if you're a Marlins fan, I think you would like this. It looks like the Marlins, they're kind of this in-between team right now. Let me pull up the standings really quick. They're right around 500 at the moment. Could they catch fire at some point? Maybe go after a wild card? Absolutely they could. But, they've actually not done very well in the last few games. Taking a look here, 18-24. One little win streak could get them back to 500, but I don't know. The Marlins, they are 5.5 back of a wild card, so they would have to put together some ball games here and really get back into this race. Now, Pablo Lopez has been a guy where people have been talking about, could he end up being a guy that's, that could get traded, because he is not too far away from free agency, and he would definitely help out some teams right now. Now, I think he could end up being a really fun fit for the Yankees. Do I think the Yankees necessarily need starting pitching? I don't think it would hurt for them to add it. I think their starting pitching has looked pretty solid for the most part this year. But would it hurt to add a guy? No, I don't think so. But now, as for these two guys, Volpe and Dominguez has been on fire lately in the minor leagues. So take that into consideration. I think his value will eventually jump up on here because he has been playing a lot better. Now, if you're taking a look here, and actually Volpe has gone off to a bit of a slow start in the minor leagues this year. So if you're taking a look at Pablo Lopez, I see where he was coming from with this. I'm guessing he did plug this in on baseball trade values. But on paper here, the trade looks good. But I don't agree with the philosophy of it. I think the Yankees, they should hang on to these two guys. Sure, with Pablo Lopez, let me pull up the Marlins payroll. I believe he's a free agent after next season. Let me pull that up here. Oh, actually, no. He's got a few seasons. He's got a couple more. I'm sorry. He's got this season, 2023, 2024, and then 2025. Now, I don't know. I don't think the Yankees will do this because they, teams have been asking about these guys for what feels like a few years now. So, and Volpe especially in the last couple of years. But I don't think they end up doing this. I don't see it. Teams tend to hang on to their top prospects unless there is like a guy out there. Like if you're looking at like maybe Juan Soto, these guys would definitely be on the table. But when it comes to someone like Pablo Lopez, I don't think the Yankees would do this. I don't think they should do this. I think they should hang on to these guys unless you're talking Juan Soto. If you're talking Juan Soto, absolutely. But for Pablo Lopez, yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't agree with it. For the Yankees, I think Lopez would be a pretty nice addition for them. And he's having a phenomenal season. Let me actually pull up his numbers really quick. I mean, look at these numbers that Pablo Lopez is putting up. 2.04 ERA, 2.85 FIP over the 9 starts. He's having a phenomenal season this year. So if you were to get a Pablo Lopez into this rotation, if you're the Yankees, let me pull up the Yankees really quick. Here we go. Lopez would be, oh my goodness, what an addition for this rotation he would be. I mean, look at this. You got Cole, Severino's been doing well lately, Montgomery. This is exactly how I thought the rotation should look if you're going to stick with these guys. And then obviously Nestor Cortez has had himself quite the year. And Taillon as the number 5 guy. Could you get Pablo Lopez? And then, that if you got Pablo Lopez, that 1 through 5 is looking extremely good. And then when it comes to playoff time, you could use Montgomery, Taillon out of the bullpen. You can kind of mix and match with those guys. But I would imagine, Cole, Severino, Cortez, and Lopez would be the guys getting the starts. And then Montgomery and Taillon, you can kind of just, pretty much use them out of the bullpen, really. Lopez would be huge. Do the Yankees necessarily need him? It never hurts to add starting pitching. Having too much starting pitching is a nice problem to have. So as for this trade, though, I don't agree with it. Now, if you were to take them out, I mean, could the Yankees put together a trade without Volpe? Could they put together a trade without Dominguez? Well, let's take a look here. So if you're looking here, I mean, Peraza has always been a guy where could you throw someone like Peraza in? Could you do Peraza, Pereira? I don't know. If you're looking here, you're not too far away. $38 million worth of value compared to Pablo Lopez, who is 65 roughly. I don't know. You'd have to just throw in a few guys here. I don't know. Could you put Wesneski? I think maybe one more guy could possibly get this done. Man, there is someone doing some speed racing out there. What the heck is going on outside my window? But I don't know. I don't know, maybe throwing Trey Sweeney. I don't know. Here, maybe you're on the right track. At this point, it's considered a minor overpay. So could the Yankees get something done for a Pablo Lopez? Sure. I don't see why not. But I don't think they would include Dominguez or Volpe. So for this hot take, I'm going to say no. But I won't turn down the idea of the Yankees maybe looking into someone like Pablo Lopez, because that could be a guy. He's a put you over the edge kind of a guy. So that's what I think. Anyway, oh my goodness, we have some great comments coming in here. Christopher Grace is here in the chat. Christopher Grace, you got to work on the spelling, my friend. Enough is enough. We got to work on the spelling. My goodness. Odd Villain has become a member of the channel. Odd Villain, you're amazing, my friend. Thank you so much, Odd Villain, man. You're always here, so I appreciate you becoming a member. So, oh, Brendan DH, that was you outside. My goodness, Brendan, please calm down with the Ferrari out there. My goodness. So, oh, Big Hurt, 1989. You are here. I feel like the Marlins are so deep with starting pitching talent that Pablo Lopez is expendable. Yeah, I can agree with that. I can definitely see them maybe putting together a trade where maybe they get a piece for now and maybe get maybe a few prospects as well. I think that would be the best trade overall because I don't think the Marlins are too far away from competing. So I could see them maybe getting like a major league ready guy for Pablo Lopez, maybe like a bat or something, and maybe get maybe 2 or 3 good prospects as well. Oh, we got a super chat coming in here. Oklahoma softball fan Gregory Woolridge here. $5 because you deserve it. My goodness, Gregory. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Really do appreciate that. So, here we go. Let's move on to the next hot take. Earlier, we were talking about Matt Carpenter. Used to be on the Cardinals. Well, let's talk about a guy that's on the Cardinals right now. Paul Goldschmidt is the most underrated player in the league, coming from What Are You Talking About? How do you say this? What Are You Talking Beat Donnie? I like it. I like it. Here we go. Paul Goldschmidt. Let's go take a look at Mr. Paul Goldschmidt. And, I'm going to have to agree. Would you consider this a hot take? I don't know, but I still think it's fun. I like talking about underrated players, and I feel like Paul Goldschmidt, he's an underrated player. I mean, if you take a look right here, in the major leagues right now, Paul Goldschmidt is tied for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is tied for 7th in Fangraph WAR. If Paul Goldschmidt stays on the pace that he's on, so he's got a 2.0 Fangraph WAR through 41 games. Let's do some math. So over a 162-game season, he is on pace for a 7.9 Fangraph WAR. I mean, that's a really good season. At this rate, I think Goldschmidt, barring any injuries, I think he's going to be at least a 5.5, 6-win player. I could definitely see that. He's having himself a really good year. Look at the batting average. He's got a 344 batting average, a 411 on base percentage. He has a 575 slugging. Actually, let's take a look here, because with Fangraph WAR, they combine the offense and the defense. Let's look at just the offense. Paul Goldschmidt right now is 4th overall when it comes to offense on Fangraphs in the major leagues. He is 2nd in the National League. He is a first baseman, so he's going to get, most first basemen are going to get negative points because first base is not a very high value position on Fangraphs, or according to Fangraphs. So Goldschmidt, guys like, Matt Olson, Goldschmidt, Rizzo, Freeman, those guys are never going to have great defensive ratings on Fangraphs because, like I said, they don't value first base very highly. So, but hey, there is no mistaking the bat. This guy is hitting 344. That is fantastic. I believe that is, yes, that is top 5 in the major leagues right now. Look at JD Martinez just quietly hitting 372. Is anyone noticing, how good JD Martinez has been lately? I know Trevor Story has been the star of the show lately, but JD Martinez is hitting 372. What the heck is going on here with JD Martinez? He's got a 193 WRC plus. Man, oh man, he's got a 599 slugging, and he's only got 5 home runs. This guy's hitting extra base hits left and right. I digress. This is not about JD Martinez. Paul Goldschmidt, I agree. I think he is one of the most underrated players in the game. I don't think you've heard anything about this guy. We've been hearing about, obviously, Mike Trout, Taylor Ward. We've been hearing about Manny Machado a lot. Tim Anderson's been really good this year. He's also been in the news for other things as well. I mean, my goodness. To me, I think Paul Goldschmidt, he's just a really good player. I think he needs a little more attention. And the Cardinals, with him and Nolan Arenado in that lineup, could you imagine if the Cardinals just add one more bat? Just one more bat. Just one more. My goodness. Could you imagine how good that middle of the order could be? I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. But I agree. I think Paul Goldschmidt is underrated. Now, is that a hot take? I don't know. I guess it depends on, who you are or what you think about it. Maybe some people think he is underrated. Maybe some people think he's, I don't know, he's properly rated. So, I don't know. I think he is underrated because you never hear about him ever. He's hitting 344 right now, man. He's doing really good. With a 575 slugging. Man, oh, man. Paul Goldschmidt. Anyway, moving on here. Let's talk, since we're talking about one of the better players in the game, let's talk about a player that could end up being the best of all time. He will go down as one of the best of all time, but will he be the best of all time? Mike Trout from It's Cat. I feel like It's Cat makes it onto the show every week. He's always just coming up with some good ones, you know? And you know, this one was a, you know, nice, simple, hot take. And I love it. I love it. It's Cat. He's always making it. He's always making it onto the hot takes. But here we go. Mike Trout will be the best player in baseball of all time by the end of his career. Let's take a look at good old Mikey Trout. Here we go. Mike Trout, what do you know? Having himself a phenomenal season. Are you kidding me? A 2.9 Fangraph WAR over the 40 games. I believe he is on pace for a Fangraph WAR of over 11. I think it's around like 11.7. Let's do the math. As of right now, over a 162 game season, he is on pace for an 11.7 Fangraph WAR. The highest Fangraph WAR that he has put up in his career was back in 2013 with a 10.2. He is on pace to beat that. He is 30 years old, and my goodness, already on Fangraphs, he is 40th overall. I mean, I'm just saying, 78.9 as of right now. So, let's say for this season, he ends up getting, let's just say he ends up getting 10. So, that's 7 more. So, 78.9 plus 7. Let's say at the end of the season, he's at an 85 Fangraph WAR, just to be safe. Well, you're looking at probably another, what? I don't know, 7, 8 more years of Mike Trout. I would imagine this guy's going to play until he's probably around 40. But you got to imagine if he's at an 80, if he was at an 85 by the end of the season, let's say he plays 9 more seasons. Okay. Let's say he averages, is in later in his career. I would imagine he's not going to be, unless he just is just the, I don't know, unless he's just, I mean, what was Barry Bonds putting up? I'm just kind of trying to think. Barry Bonds, what were the numbers that he was putting up from 35? Well, no, 30. Okay, now let's just look at the last few years. So Barry Bonds was around a 3 the last couple of seasons. I don't know. Let's say Mike Trout averages a 5, or I don't know. Let's say 6. Let's say he averages a 6 WAR for the rest of his career. Let's say he goes until he's 40 years old. So, taking a look. So let's say we said he was at 85 by the end, right? Of this season. So, and he averaged it. And so he would be what? When is he turning? He's turning 31 in what? A few months. So let's say he'll have 9 more seasons. Let's say he averages a 6 WAR for the rest of his career. So 9 times 6 is 54. 54 plus 85, that's 139. Well, that would put him at number 5 overall. So he would be behind Ty Cobb. He would be behind Willie Mays. I could see Mike Trout. I think he could, because you got to think here, he still is in the prime of his career. He is, I mean, right now he's 30 years old. I would imagine he's going to be putting up some really good, you know, considering he stays healthy, I would think Trout is going to be putting up some really good seasons, you know, anywhere from like a 7, 8, 9 Fangraph WAR for the next few seasons. I mean, I'm just saying. So if he were to average a 7 Fangraph WAR, let's say, all right, so we're at it. Let's say he's at 85 at the end of the season. Let's say he averages a 7 WAR for the next 9 seasons. That's 63 plus 85. So that would put him at 148. So he would be right in the mix. If he were to average a 7 Fangraph WAR for the next 9 seasons, that's going to be pretty tough. He would have to really get some good seasons in the early going. Just historically, guys that are older, They're just not putting up the numbers and like they used to, obviously. I think we can all agree on that. So I think he has a chance to be top 3. I think it's more likely he ends up getting top 5. So he did have the calf injury last year. I hope that that's not going to be the start of some issues for him over the next few years. I don't think so, because he's looking really good this year. I think those issues are well behind him. I think he definitely has a chance to be top 5. I think he will be a top 10. I think there's no doubt Mike Trout will be top 10 Fangraph WAR when all is said and done with his career. It's going to be hard, man, to put up the numbers like Barry Bonds did. I mean, Barry Bonds was out of his mind. You know, if you're looking at Barry Bonds, this dude was putting up 12-win seasons. I mean, Trout, the highest he's had is 10.2. So Bonds was a freak, man, from 2001 to 2004. He was out of his mind. Like, that's just, I don't know, man. I don't know if Trout, I mean, it's funny because Bonds was doing that at 30. That's crazy that he was doing this for 4 straight years, and it started when he was 36 years old. I mean, that's not really like old, but like, man, crazy numbers, man. But he put up a 12-win season at 39. That's nuts. I don't know. I don't think Trout is going to end up getting to the number 1 spot. I just think, man, if Bonds couldn't catch Ruth, I don't know. Man. I don't think Trout's going to do it. I think he has a shot at top 5. Absolutely does. I think there's no doubt he'll be top 10. If he stays on the pace, he should be a top 10 by the end of his career. Top 5 has a shot, but I don't think he will have the highest Fangraph WAR of all time. So, I mean, Odd Villain in the chat is saying legalize roids. Maybe there is a shot. Maybe, you know, people go out in the streets, hold some picket signs. Hey, legalize PEDs. Legalize all the roids. Legalize all the Trenbolone sandwiches. You know, let's just Let's just get it going. Come on, we all love the home run ball. Come on, let's just do it. Come on, I'm kidding. Anyway, but again, just to reiterate what I said, I definitely think he could be top 5. I think he will be top 10. I don't think he's going to get past Babe Ruth. I don't think anyone's going to get past Babe Ruth. Maybe Soto. Could Juan Soto end up getting past Babe Ruth? But yeah, I think most likely top 10. Definitely has a shot at top 5. Could he get top 3? I think it's possible. But it's going to be very, very tough to be the best of all time. So that's what I'm thinking. So let me know in the chat. Where do you think? I want to see what you all think. Let's take a break from the hot takes for a second. And Dongdre Henderson, man, Babe Ruth did it while eating hot dogs and drinking beer. You got to love it. That's just, I mean, maybe throw in some apple pie, and you can't get any more America than that. But let me know in the chat. Do you think Mike Trout, where do you think he'll finish when all is said and done with his career? Do you think he'll be top 10? Do you think he'll be top 5? Top 3? Or will he be number 1? I want to know what you think. Let me know in the chat. So in the chat, write down top 10, top 5, top 3, or number 1. Or if you want to, put where you think he'll end up. Do you think he'll end up maybe number 5, 6, 7, 5, 3, 4? I don't know. John Sullivan, you're going number 1. Brendan DH, you're thinking top 3. Big Hurt, you think top 15. You don't think he'll make it to the top 10. Okay. I think that's definitely possible. Yeah, Mr. First Cat, I agree. Trout will be a future Hall of Famer for sure. I think he's already locked it up. I mean, it's already done. He could retire right now and he'll get in the Hall of Fame. Ed Bagley, you think he'll finish 8th overall in his career? Yeah, you think top 7. What in the world is going on right here? Oh, sorry. I was just wondering. I got a text. I was wondering what the heck was going on Eugene, you think top 5 if he stops sliding head first? Okay. All right. I like it. But let's see. IG2M, you think 4th. I like it. Sam ZG, you think Mike Trout will finish top 15, 20? And that's putting it nicely. I mean, it's crazy how, it's so crazy, man, looking at these numbers. It's just insane, man. Like, man. It's like a treat looking at these numbers. Top 10 players of all time. Man, oh, man. So, alrighty, let's move on to the next hot take. Hey, we're talking about Mike Trout. He's won himself some MVPs. Let's talk about another guy that's won an MVP. Could he win an MVP this year? And actually, there are 2 hot takes within this hot take. Did I say that right? Whatever. We got a 2-for-1 special here. Jose Altuve from Ed Bagley. Jose Altuve, dark horse candidate for MVP. And we got Theorpo as well. Altuve will be the next 3,000 club member. Ooh. All righty. Let's do the... Oh, that was a deep shot to left. Is that foul? Trevor Story. What the heck is going on with Trevor Story? This guy just almost hit another home run. What the heck is going on right now? Trevor Story is so locked in. Oh, my God. Woo. Trevor Story just almost went deep again. Anyway, here we go. Jose Altuve. Let's take a look at the first one. Could he be a dark horse MVP candidate? Well, right now, funny enough, he's actually got some competition on his own team. Jeremy Pena right now has a 2.0 Fangraph WAR. Now, I would say, I don't know, when it comes to the voters, the writers, the experts out there, are they going to weigh defense all that much? I think Jeremy Pena has definitely an absolute shot at Rookie of the Year. At this rate, Jeremy Pena is winning the award unless someone else starts heating up. Stephen Kwan, where are you at? Where are you at, Stephen Kwan? Come on, my friend. You got off to a hot start. Where the heck you at, man? But with taking a look here at so Jose Altuve has a 1.6 Fangraph WAR. So actually, it looks like, hold on a second. Because Jose Altuve is at 130 plate appearances. So let's do minimum plate appearances of 100. Because what I had pulled up there were the qualified players. So right now, with Jose Altuve, he ranks 11th overall. So one problem is he is a bit behind in terms of games played. Funny enough, Taylor Ward has done what he's done this season in 10 less games than Mike Trout. That is bonkers. Just bonkers. So Altuve is already working from behind here. So he's going to have to get hot. And Jose Altuve, he's shown before that he can just get red hot. But he has a really good stat line right now. If you take a look, he is... I think the batting average needs to come up a little bit if he wants to be in contention for an MVP. He's hitting 288. Really good on base of 354, 568 slugging, a 172 WRC plus, 9 homers, 14 RBIs. I just think at this rate, I don't think he's going to come close to an MVP unless he gets red hot. Oh, that's up the middle, and that's through! There's a base hit. Trevor Story moves up to second. Oh, man, Red Sox are threatening. Wait, what just happened here? Wait a minute. I just completely missed what was going on. What is going on here? Why aren't they showing him? Oh, he stole. Oh, I wasn't looking. My goodness. I got to start looking at the game. I thought there was a base hit up the middle, but the catcher threw it into the outfield. I was thinking, what the heck? There's Verdugo with a base hit. Come on home, Story. He rounds third. And Verdugo Verdugo slides in safe with a double. Verdugo with the hustle. And the Red Sox lead it 7-3. Verdugo with his second double of the night. Don't let the Sox get hot. And I mean the Red Sox. Here we go. Jose Altuve, no, I don't think he's going to win the MVP this year. Could he get really hot at some point, which he has before in the past? And maybe a second half could propel him into those considerations. But I think right now, the guys you got to be looking at, Aaron Judge is obviously the talk of the town right now. He's leading the major leagues in home runs. This guy is just a complete force. You got Mike Trout doing Mike Trout things. Jose Ramirez is doing well. That was my MVP pick. But once again, Jose Ramirez is going to be one of the best players in the game, but is just not going to get an MVP. You know who Jose Ramirez, I'm going to compare Jose Ramirez to a former Red Sox player that was also a Ramirez, Manny Ramirez. Manny Ramirez was another one of these guys that had just so many good seasons, but he never won an MVP. That's what Jose Ramirez is. Jose Ramirez is always going to be that really, really, really good player, but he's just never going to win an MVP. At this rate, I just think he's in the wrong time. When you got guys like Trout and Judge, it's just, what can the guy do? He's playing great baseball. He's hitting extremely well, but you got these just freaks ahead of him, and it's like, man, what do you do? But yeah, I'm going to say Jose Ramirez is this era's Manny Ramirez in terms of just being a really good player, but just not doing enough to win an MVP. So, I don't know. Anyway, but as for the other hot take, let's talk about Jose Altuve. Could he get to 3,000 hits? So, with Altuve, as of right now, he has... How many hits does he have? Altuve has... Where do I see his career numbers? Oh, here we go. So, hits. He has 1,800 hits. So, I mean, I don't know. So what, he's 30 years old? So let's see. He's got to play until he's at least 40. So, I don't know, man. If you go back here the last few years, look at those hit seasons that he had. He had 4 straight 200 hit seasons. And it looks like he's only getting anywhere from like 150 to like 170. 2020 is kind of a whatever year. And I think that definitely hurt his chances a bit. So, I mean, that was another 100 hits that he probably missed out on. He could have been at 1,900 by now, but he's at 1,800. So he would need 1,200 more hits. So 1,200, I don't know, divided by 10. Well, actually, if he got 120 hits for the next 10 seasons, he could actually, I don't know, I wasn't thinking of the math right in my head. Could he average 120 hits over the next 10 seasons? He would have to play until he's 40. Or actually, how old is he? Wait, he's not, how old is he? Oh, he's 32. Okay, so I was thinking he's 30. So 8 seasons. He's going to be what? We just turned 32. So he's got probably another, I guess he'd have 8 more seasons after this. So 1,200 divided by 8. He would have to average 150 hits per season. Could he? I think it's possible. He would not get there until he's around 40, that's for sure. But the guy's always been pretty good at getting hits. He had 167 last year, 150 in 2019, 170 in 2018. So, could he do it? I don't know. Right now, this season, he has 34 hits over 30 games. So he's on pace over. I mean, he's not gonna play 162 games, but over, let's say he ends up playing 145. He's on pace for another 160 hits. So if he could, I think he has a shot at it. I definitely think so. So, Luke 22, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? How you doing? I think Altuve has a shot at 3,000 hits. It's still questionable right now because he is still pretty far away. There's a lot that can happen over the next 8-9 seasons for him. You know, he could have a lot of injuries. He has been a guy that has had the injury bug in the last few seasons. But, hey, if he can get 150 hits per season until he's 40, I think he could. So we'll have to wait and see. If I were to buy or sell or 3,000 hits, I think he has a chance. I would say right now, I would probably say no. I would say he ends up getting anywhere from like 2,500 to 2,800. I think that sounds like a good spot for where he'll end up because you just never know with injuries. If he can stay injury-free, I think he has a chance at it. But you just never know, you know. There's a lot of things that can end up happening. And I don't know, will he be able to play, 140 to 150 games per season until he's 40 years old? I don't know. Considering he's had the injury bug for the last few seasons, and he has missed some time over the last few seasons. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I think he has a shot, but I will say right now, I'll say no. I say he ends up getting 2,800 hits, right around that range. So let's check back in what year? 2030. Let's check back in 2030. And so make sure, everyone, that you clip this, okay? Save this clip for 8 years from now, okay? And we'll see if I was right. I'm going to say 2,835, okay? Jose Altuve, 2,835 hits in his career. So here we go. Let's move on to the next hot take. Speaking of awards, we got another guy here who's been having a pretty good season overall. He's been striking out guys left and right. And could he end up getting more votes than the guy that won it last year? Eric Lauer from Metallic, he says Eric Lauer gets more votes for Cy Young than Corbin Burnes when that time comes. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Let's take a look here. Eric Lauer, man. Let's take a look at this season that he's having. Good grief. Man, what a season this guy's been having. 7 starts, 41 2/3 innings, a 2.16 ERA. But man, oh man, he's been striking out 11.5 per 9. He's got under 2 walks per 9. The home run ball's got to come down a little bit. His FIP is at a 3.36, so that is why you are seeing a higher FIP compared to the ERA, because he is serving up some home runs. But he's striking out guys. Baseball, the baseball writers of America, they don't look at FIP. They look at ERA. They look at ERA. They look at WHIP. They look at the strikeouts. They look at the walks. They look at, the basic stats. They're not going to look at FIP. So they're going to look at ERA. At this rate, the ERA looks really good. The strikeouts look good. Corbin Burnes, on the other hand, is also doing really well. He's got a 2.18 ERA. And Lauer is at a 2.16, so slightly edging him out there. But where Burnes has an edge right now, he's got 2 more starts. I don't know if that's going to make a big deal. Lauer is striking out more guys. It's going to be pretty close where these guys end up. Burnes right now is at a 1.1 Fangraph WAR. Eric Lauer is at a 0.8. So they're essentially pitching with the same numbers, except Burnes has a couple more starts. Now, I would bank on the fact that Burnes will probably end up finishing ahead of him in the Cy Young race, just because he has that track record. He was the Cy Young winner last year. So I'll go no on this one. But hey, you never know. Lauer, man, he's having himself a dandy of a season. So I hope that'd be pretty cool and good for the Brewers. That would be really good for them if he can end up pitching like this for the whole season. But I'll stick with Burnes just because he has the track record. He won the Cy Young last year. So I'll go no on that one. So moving on here. We got one more here about the Milwaukee Brewers. Ooh, I kind of like this one. I like this one. It's a little different. I haven't had one like this before. And look at this one. Josh Hader. From Davis Gorman, Josh Hader is going to be the first relief pitcher in MLB history to get $100 million when he hits free agency. Oh, man. I don't know about this, man. Okay, so now what I will say, Hader is phenomenal this year. He's just stupid. He's stupid. He's got the same WAR as Eric Lauer. Or actually, I think he has a slightly higher WAR than Lauer. Did Lauer have a 0.7? Whatever it was. He's right around the same. Hader is out of his mind. He hasn't given up a run this year. And he actually just came back from being with his wife. There was stuff going on with a pregnancy. I hope everything is going okay with that. Best wishes out to their family. But Hader, this guy has been out of his mind. He's got 15 saves. He was really good. And I'm really glad because he was really trending in a not a good direction at one point. If you take a look at his numbers from 2017 to 2020, the ERA was steadily growing. The FIP was steadily growing. His xFIP was steadily growing. And but he really turned it around last season. ERA was fantastic. FIP was fantastic. He definitely made some tweaks with what he was doing. And this year, he's even better. I mean, the ERA is 0. Actually, a little less on the strikeouts, but a little less on the walks too, and not giving up any home runs. He's been amazing. Now, will he get $100 million? No, he's not going to get $100 million. However, I think Josh Hader could end up getting like 75 or 80. I think that could end up being it because taking a look at his value in 2021, he was worth $20 million. Now, 2020 was kind of a whatever season for him. That was another thing, too, about that 2020 season. It was a shortened season. Give him more of a season, and maybe those numbers improve. But he's always been, going back to 2018, he was anywhere from 18 to 20 million. So right now, he's worth 6.4, and we're in May. So he's pitched in, 15 games? Every single season, he was at 60 last year, so he's basically a fourth of the way through. So if you were to do 6.4 times 4, I mean, he's on pace to be worth $25 million this year. So if you were to do a contract, usually relievers, they're not going to get more than 4 years. You had Emmanuel Clace, but he was young. So he's only 24 years old. So this one kind of makes a little bit more sense. Garrett Whitlock is also young. He ended up getting a 4-year deal. But you don't really see anything more than 4 years. So I think with Hader, he's been worth anywhere from 18 to 20 million. Right now, he's on pace to be worth 25 million. I think a 4-year, $80 million contract for Josh Hader, I think that sounds about right. And, maybe 70, 75. I think he'll get at least a $70 million contract. He will be, I believe he's a free agent after next season. He's 28 right now, so he'll be 30 when he hits free agency. Just to make sure, I do think he is a free agent after, it says it right here, 2024. So yeah, he has this season, next season, and then he'll be a free agent. So I think a 4-year deal, 70, 75 million, I think so. I don't think he's going to be 100 million. I will disagree on that, but I think he ends up getting 70, 75, maybe 80 if a team wants to overpay, to make sure they land him. So we'll have to wait and see on that. I don't think he's going to get 100 million. I think he ends up getting anywhere from 70 to 80. So sounds about right if you ask me. I think he will be the highest paid reliever. Absolutely will be. Does he end up getting 70? I think he will. But let's say he didn't. He'll definitely get more than 58 million. He should. He should get more than 58 million. That's the highest contract right now. And the highest AAV is Liam Hendricks at 18 million. I mean, Josh Hader has been, just as good, if not better, than Liam Hendricks. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking on that one. So, yeah, Odd Villain, he says he's not getting 100. Brendan DH, every time I see Alex Colomé, I laugh because I went to high school with a guy by the same name. Oh, good old Alex Colomé, man. Andrew W. says L for any team that pays him that. Chris Lee, someone will get there one day. They will. One day. With inflation and everything. Of course. So, Ben Myers, what's going on? Relievers just don't get paid like that and don't sign that longer contracts. Yeah, usually you're going to see 3 to 4 years. So that's what I think will hold him back there. So, alrighty. Here we go. Let's move on here. We got a couple more. Speaking of a contract, let's talk about a bad contract. From Davis Gorman. Wait a minute, that's not the right one. Hold on a second. Oh, man, there's the potato brain kicking in. Here we go. There it is. From John Sullivan, Steven Strasburg's contract is the worst in MLB history. Oh, brutal. Washington fans, I am so sorry. Here we go. Taking a look. Here we go. Let me pull up the starting pitcher contracts. Okay, here we go. Steven Strasburg, $245 million over 7 years. That's the second highest contract for a pitcher. Look at David Price just hanging out in the number 3 spot, man. But Steven Strasburg making $35 million per year. You have to remember he signed this contract after they won a World Series. So there's a deep drive. Kike is there. That's gone. 2-run home run for Andrew Vaughn. Vaughn with 5 RBIs. It's the Red Sox 7, Andrew Vaughn 5, and the White Sox keep it close. Andrew Vaughn has Waka's number tonight, and the White Sox are keeping this game close. Please, for the love of God, take Michael Wacha out of this game. Good grief. Andrew Vaughn. Watch, Andrew Vaughn's going to hit a walk-off home run tonight. Clip that. Watch. I love when the White Sox, when they hit a home run, and I love that they do the thing with the lights. That is the best. I love that. White Sox fans, you are so lucky you get something like that. I just want to go to a White Sox game and just be there, right? Do we got any White Sox fans in the chat? Any White Sox fans? Have you been at a White Sox game where they do the lights? I just want to sit there and just see it, it looks great on TV. I would think it looks pretty darn cool in person too. But Andrew Vaughn is all of the offense for the White Sox tonight. So, here we go. Steven Strasburg, worst contract in history. I mean, at this rate, Steven Strasburg, man, if you take a look here, he signed that after 2019, he has been worth, if you combine 2020 and 2021, he is at a 0.2 value. Is he even going to pitch this year? What is going on with Strasburg? So, taking a look here, the latest, a few days ago, according to Jesse Doherty of the Washington Post, Strasburg is expected to need at least 3 rehab starts before rejoining the Nationals rotation. So I think we'll see him in the second half, and it's definitely not off to a good start. It's a long contract. He's not going to be a free agent until 2027. I would imagine he is going to perform at some point. He's just had a lot of bad luck lately with these injuries. And, if you go back, his best season was back in 2017. He had a really good one in 2019, and then helping win the World Series, obviously. But he just hasn't had it the last couple of years. He's made 7 starts going back to 2020. So at this rate, if he keeps doing this, he will be one of the worst contracts of all time. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. He's going to have to come back from these injuries and really show that he is past them And because at this rate, this is turning into one of the worst contracts. At this rate, I'm not saying he will be. I do think he's going to end up coming back. I think he'll end up, making 25, 30 starts. I think he'll have some, little nagging things along the way. But hopefully he's good to go, because could you imagine he ends up like not pitching really at all over the next couple of seasons? Oh, that would be brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. So my answer to the hot take here, going back to it, Steven Strasburg's contract is the worst in history. No, there has been some pretty bad contracts in the past. Good grief. I saw one of them with Pablo Sandoval. My God, that was the best thing that we got out of Pablo Sandoval was the pure comedy of his belt exploding in Toronto. That was the best we got out of Pablo Sandoval. There's been some Carl Crawford as well. We also had Carl Crawford. Man, oh man, there's been some horrible ones, and I've seen a couple of them myself. Steven Strasburg, I don't think obviously right now he is not the worst. Will he end up being the worst? I will say no. I think he'll end up getting back to being a pretty good pitcher. You just never know with these injuries. Hopefully he can get himself back on track. So, this guy's been having some pretty good luck lately. Who would have thought this player would make the show? But you know what? Hey, I like it. It's outside the box. You don't ever hear about this player. He's been playing pretty well, and that's Danny Jansen from It's Jeff 96. What a name. Danny Jansen shows that the last 30 games are the kind of player he is. Wins the Silver Slugger and Gold Glover at catcher, hitting 30-plus home runs. Let's go take a look at Danny Jansen. This is a guy that, I like Danny Jansen. Why? Well, he's always had pretty good defense. I've always liked what he can do. Taking a look, last year in 2021, in a part-time role, he had a 6.4 defense. If you go back to 2019, he had a 17 defense. This guy is a very good defensive catcher, but it looks like so far this year, he missed about around a month of time, so he's only had 11 games played. I don't know exactly the injury. I don't remember. I can't think of it at the top of my head, but he played the first few games there, and then he missed about a month. He came back May 14th. And it took him a little bit to get going. He had a couple of one-hit games, but taking a look at what he's been doing here. Look at the game that he had a couple nights ago. He went 2 for 5. He had a couple of home runs, 4 RBIs. Hey, man, look at Danny Jansen. Let's go pull up his Baseball Savant page. Let's see if they've updated it. He's never really been too much of a hitter, at least in the major leagues. So if you go back to his stats, he just hasn't really put up a lot of offense. He had 13 home runs in 2019, but Fangraphs, his prospect report back from 2019, they had him as a 55 hit for the future. They had him at a 55 raw power. So he did show power in the past. And look at John Schreiber, man, coming in and just setting him down, man. Gotta love it. But let me pull up his minor league numbers. He didn't have a lot of power in the minor leagues, but that's why he always had more of the raw power. Now, could he turn that into some game power? I don't know. 2018, he had 12 homers, but he's had himself some double-digit homer seasons. But as of right now, he's got 5. If he ends up playing 70, 80 games, could he end up maybe getting 15, 20? I think so. But I would say as of right now with Danny Jansen, will he end up getting 30 home runs? I don't know. Taking a look. Hopefully he's past, everything going on. Don't forget, you got Alejandro Kirk there, but with Alejandro Kirk, Kirk has actually been hitting pretty well, and he's hitting 268 with a 354 on base. So, but I don't know. I don't know if Jansen is going to have the playing time, but it is nice to see that he hit a couple of home runs yesterday. Hey, Maybe he can take advantage of those home runs. Maybe try and find himself in the lineup more often than not. You could always put Kirk in the DH spot. You can put Teoscar Hernandez out in right. You could mix and match the lineup to where you could get Jansen a good amount of at-bats. So I don't see why he couldn't. Will he get to 30 home runs? I'll probably say no. What do we got here? Pensair 33 just subscribed. What is going on? But yeah, Jansen, I'll probably say he gets to around, I don't know, maybe like 18, 20. Sound about right? You know. But hey, I like Danny Jansen. I would love it if he could get to 30 home runs with, you know, the defense that he has. Actually, really quick, let me go back to his page. That was definitely his big thing there. Was his fielding. Funny enough, he didn't really have a great fielding grade, but he was really good defensively over the last few seasons. So, kind of surprised that he didn't have a better grade when it came to his fielding. So, not much of an arm, but hey, he's I don't know. I think he'll end up getting 20, right around 20 home runs. So, let's stay in the American League East. We got one more hot take. One more hot take. And we're at 80 people. I appreciate you all coming out for hot takes. But before I do get to the last hot take, don't forget I have the poll in the chat. If you haven't voted on it, go vote now. The question is, will Matt Carpenter make the Yankees better? But before I do get to the last hot take, don't forget we have partnerships with SeatGeek. Use my code Hyde, $20 off your first purchase. Prize Picks, use my code Ginger, a 100% deposit match. And everyone, in case you missed it in the beginning of the show, I know we didn't have as many people as we do now, but I am the new host of the Red Sox podcast on the Believe Network. So Red Sox fans, be on the lookout for this. This all kind of just got put together today. We just got the picture uploaded today. So for the guys over at the Believe Network, thank you for putting this together. It's an awesome picture. Can't wait to see that on Spotify. You can find this podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts, whether that's Spotify, Apple, Google, Stitcher, I don't know, wherever the heck you listen to podcasts. But I'm excited to do it. I'm excited to be the host of the show. Eventually, a former Red Sox player will be joining me on the show. I don't know who that player is just yet, but a former Red Sox player will be joining me to help host this show. I'm excited about it. So definitely be on the lookout for this. I'll probably be posting the first episode sometime next week. So for this new podcast, I want to be uploading as often as possible. And I don't want to do it as like a once a week thing. I want to at least post, maybe 2 to 3 times a week. At least it would be at least 2 times a week where I could talk about, the series that were played with the Red Sox. Usually you play a couple of series per week, so I don't see why I couldn't do at least 2 episodes. But nothing is going to change with this channel. Everything is going to be the same. I'm still going to be doing the power rankings every Sunday. This is just another thing that's adding to my plate. Hey, I've been telling you all since the start of, this channel, I want this to be my full-time job. I want this to pay the bills. I'm not looking to, get rich off of YouTube. That's not my thing. If I could just pay my bills doing this every night, doing a podcast, I'd be a happy boy. I'd be the happiest man alive. If I can just pay my bills doing this, that'd be great. But I'm excited to be the new host of this Red Sox podcast. So let's get to the hot take. Speaking of the Red Sox, here's my giraffe neck Robbie coming through. I got to go with a Red Sox one here. Here we go from GGZSK. Devers and Bogarts are not as bad defensively as people say. Now, this has always been a thing with Rafael Devers and Xander Bogaerts, and I'll be the first one to say it. I've been so critical about Devers on defense. He has been just god awful out there. But Rafael Devers this year on defense has been looking really good. It's not just the numbers that are looking really good, just he's passing the eye test. He's scooping some of these balls, man. He is making some good throws. Like, he is really looking good at third base this year. Let's just take a look at the numbers, shall we? Here we go. I mean, yes, the defensive runs saved don't look very good, but he's got a positive UZR of 1.0, which for him is excellent. If you go back to 2021, he had a -5 UZR or a -5.5 UZR back in 2020. In a shortened season, he had a -5.6 UZR. He was hot garbage. He was hot garbage defensively. Yes, and he also had -13 defensive runs saved last year. What the heck is going on, Rafael Devers? But hey, I'll take -1. I'm okay with that. I don't need for you to be this. Oh, I thought he just hit a home run. My goodness, he just took a heck of a swing. I don't need a premier defender. I don't need a Nolan Arenado out here. Just make the plays and get it done. He's had trouble just making those plays over the years. He is looking a lot better. Now, he is going to have that stigma around him unless he can stay consistent with it. If he can keep doing this every single year, I think he'll get that monkey off of his back, because that is just something he's had to deal with in his career so far. Luckily for him, he is only 25 years old. He has plenty of time to get that monkey off of his back. Let's talk about Xander Bogaerts, shall we? Xander Bogaerts. Let's go to the fielding. Here we go. For him, I've actually seen a couple of plays from him where he did make quite a goof. He has -3 defensive runs saved, but that looks about normal with him. He's always been in the negatives. He's a lot better than he used to be. He's going to cough up, or he's not going to get to some of these balls out there, but he's doing a better job over the last couple of seasons. However, his UZR is not on the pace that it was on last year. He had a 2.3 UZR last year, and he's in the negatives right now with a -0.1. Surprisingly enough, Rafael Devers has actually been the better defender, but shortstop is the harder position, so I guess you could maybe call it even, I guess. Overall, though, these guys have been playing pretty solid defense, at least compared to what they have been in the past. So, now, I'm not going to sit here and say they are amazing defenders. Going back to the hot take, Devers and Bogaerts are not as bad defensively as people say. This year especially. This year, they're not as bad as people say. So I will agree with this one. But they still have a ways to go. I think Bogaerts is what he is at this point. I don't think what you see out of Bogaerts defensively is what you're going to get. Devers, though, I don't think he's going to get to any kinds of level near Arenado or Chapman. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near that. I'm okay with Devers just being solid out there and just making the routine plays, which he's had trouble with. So, I agree with that hot take. As of right now, they're not as bad as what people say. So, everyone, that is all I got for the hot takes tonight. It was a good show. I appreciate you all coming out. Please, on your way out, if you are new, hit that subscribe button. We've been getting a lot of traffic lately. One of my videos that I made about, like a week and a half ago, I made it on the 2017 Cleveland Indians. That video is over 50,000 views. So I want to say thank you to everyone that has watched that video. I want to welcome all the new subscribers from that video. Thank you so much. Everyone, please, on your way out, hit that like button. We're only at 47 likes here, everyone. My goodness, what the heck are we doing? We're at 47 likes. Come on now. Let's get to 100 likes on the way out. Oh, we got a super chat coming in. Oh, super chat. I guess got to the main screen that actually should be popping up here. There it is. I got to the main screen just in time. Joe Hill with a $5. Miggy with a walk-off. What the heck is going on? Oh. A walk-off hit. We've been doing the show, man. Well, look at the Tigers creating some magic. He's got the 3,000 hits this year, and holy crap, the Reds scored 20 runs today? What the heck is going on with the Cincinnati Reds? Oh, my goodness. Hey, Cincinnati, let's make a playoff run, shall we? 20 runs against the Cubs. Man, oh, man. Taking a look right now, you got the Royals up 3-2 on the Twins, looking to close it out. They got 2 outs, a runner on second. Brewers up 4-3 on the Cardinals, top 8. My Red Sox hanging on to a 7-5 lead. Blue Jays up 4-0 on the Angels, top 3. Dodgers up 6-0 on the Diamondbacks, bottom of the second. The Dodgers, man, they have had the Diamondbacks number lately. The Rangers up 1-0. Yankees beating the Rays today. The Nationals beating the Rockies. Tigers with the walk-off against the Guardians. Nationals beating the Rockies. I think I said that. And the Phillies beating the Braves 4-1 today. So, holy crap, the Reds scored 20 runs. What the heck is going on? On that note, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you all coming out for another week of Hot Takes. Be on the lookout for Hot Takes next week. And that's all I got. Everyone, don't forget, we have Power Rankings this Sunday. And I'm excited for everything coming up. We've got Power Rankings, new Red Sox podcast. And I'm on summer break now, everyone. I got more time to do stuff. I'm excited. So, have yourself a good night, everyone. Go get some rest. What's tomorrow, Friday? I don't even know what day it is. You know why? Because I'm on summer vacation. Every day is just, I don't even know what day it is. Here we go. Have yourself a good night, everyone. And I will talk to you next time.